Hey friends and family, what's going on? My name is Skylent and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys stay tuned, like, subscribe, stupid YouTube stuff. But today I wanted to talk about the most popular, most populated, the most viral, the biggest survival games that we can check. So these are all going to be on Steam. Most of them are actually still in early access, but all of these, I'm looking at the list right now, they're hard recommends. If not from me specifically, from literally the world. I mean, they're popular, not just though, they all have pretty decent reviews and I know they all do unique special things, but a lot of people look at survival games, even the new viral Valheim, and like, oh, it's just another survival game. Well, we're going to sit down, we're going to talk about these games, what made them popular, what made them hype, and why you should check them out, because yes, everyone is jumping off the bridge into these survival games. Yes, you should follow, because there's a lot of awesome stuff to do here. But yeah, let's go ahead. First one is an honorable mention, and that is Valheim, the inspirator of this list as well. Oh my god, it's so freaking popular. Valheim has 481,836 players as of recording this video. That's big. Now, it's not officially number one on the list, because by far it would be number one, because it really is a viral sensation. I would like to see, it's been like weeks that it's been out. I want to see where this game actually goes in trends, but I'll tell you right now, and you should know from all the past videos I've been doing and will do, Valheim is pretty good. Okay, but anyways, that's a ton of people. So what other games are really good? You know, maybe you checked out Valheim, you really like it. It's your introduction into survival games. There's a bunch of others that are amazing. They might look rough around the edges. This might be a weird and kind of hardcore genre for some people, but I implore that you give it a shot. You're gonna make some memories. But friends, you want to know the top 10 most popular survival games? Let's get into it. First game on the list, coming at 13,867 players, is Conan Exiles. This is a title that I played just very briefly cooperatively, and I could immediately see that this game had something incredibly special about it. Now, it has a really cool cinematic intro, and when you actually get into the game, you are fully immersed in this like pseudo, I don't know, it's kind of lowish fantasy, but it's still a fantasy universe that's really freaking brutal, like crocodiles will kill you. But then you can also have like thralls, which is a pretty weird aspect, and you can kind of machine up a farm because you have slaves. I don't know, that's very weird, but it's a very brutal and hardcore and very extreme. It's literally an 18+ mature game, so keep an eye out for that. Though there is a censorship bar, still it's cartoon violence. Like it's like Mortal Kombat, you know, it's like Doom. It's like so grotesque that like it's funny, and that's what Conan Exiles does special. Now, Conan is a game that the developers were like, yeah, we know survival games are kind of easy to make. People allow them to be buggy, and the game is still definitely buggy, especially co-op. The game is not perfect in every way, but it still is genuinely, like, it's another survival game, but it just does things really weird and really special and kind of grotesque and gorish. So if you want that kind of gameplay, something more of a mature sort of survival experience, Conan Exiles is totally it. Yeah, no, it's got some special stuff, and I especially know that people like doing the bossing. They go in and basing and building big bases, building big villages, I guess you could say, in this game is also very rewarding. So I want to dive in a little bit deeper. Maybe we can all play co-op. That would be really cool. But Conan Exiles is a cool first step for a lot of players into this genre who maybe thought that these games were a little bit childish. So keep that in mind. Next up at number 9, we have a personal favorite of mine, and that is Don't Starve Together. That has 14,854, so just a little bit beating out Conan Exiles right now. This game has just consistently had updates, and it is more popular than the single-player Don't Starve, even on mobile. So Don't Starve Together is really just the shining beacon here. Now, why it's so popular is because every time it goes on sale, it's half off, and then they give you an extra copy. So really, it's like it's 1/4 the normal price. But they want you to play with your friends. They want this game to be viral, and it is super fun. Now, me, I play as Weber. I like the little spider boy. I think he's super cool. Which player do you play as? I want to know. But we should actually make a server together. Don't Starve Together looks childish, and it looks cartoon. It looks like isometric Minecraft. And, no, this game is it's hard. This game is hard. This is probably the hardest, most challenging survival game that I have ever played. And you will get killed, you will lose everything, you will lose days of your life, and it's really cool. So, yeah, I know it looks childish, it's very approachable, and there's actually a little bit of lore. There's some, I don't know, I love the characters in this game, but it's really based on, like, science. It's like, okay, you go out, get this material, science it up. Okay, we go out and get this material, do some magic. And then there's, like, pigmen and stuff like that. And then there's spiders, there's spooters, and then every, like, about 7 days, waves of freaking dogs will come. There's giants! Better look out for the seasons, because you will freeze to death. Basically, don't starving, you will starve to death. Try not to, but that is the least of your worries, to be honest. Everything else will slap your shit in, but it comes in this really cute, colorful package, which I think a lot of people do appreciate. 100%, this is like the survival game that I would suggest to play with like a girlfriend, a boyfriend. Like, this is a really fun date game that overall, yeah, you'll die and stuff and things, but sometimes you're most alive when you're dying. I mean, that's why we play survival games, right? Another amazing co-op PvE focused survival game, or just single player, is going to be The Forest here. A little bit more popular, 15,771 players as of right now, which should be peak hours. The Forest is a gorgeous game, and I remember the first time I logged into it, I was so immersed because like the storm, the trees were blowing, you hear the little clicking and little growls of the monsters that slowly kind of get curious and learn about you and then you eat your shit. Oh my god, and the first time I went into a cave, I'm normally stoic, I normally don't scream, I normally don't get scared. I got spooked. This game is spooky. It's a spooky survival game. Now, if you play single player, yeah, the game is very enjoyable. It kind of teaches you just general basic survival. That's the point. It's like airplane crash landing. You're doing basic survival stuff. Make a log cabin, make a fire stuff. Oh, there's freaking mutant cannibalistic creature things. What the hell? But then there's also a story that I haven't completed yet. I need to jump back into that. But it's a game that you can also appreciate cooperatively as well. Not a big server, like one other person, maybe one more. The game kind of has a little bit of jank with it, but there is a sequel even coming soon to The Forest. So this game, super produced. This was one of the first like single player or PvE focused survival games where everyone's like, oh, you can make survival games like this? And then from there, we got a whole bunch of amazing ones after that. But yeah, no, this game is still grossly popular, especially playing co-op. You should really give it a shot. And I myself need to play it a little bit more, that's true. Basically, again, just because for a pure immersion factor, I think The Forest wins over everything. Next up, now we have an emergent genre, which is like, I guess, survival simulator, culture, civilization simulator, and that's going to be Rimworld, a title that I have not touched yet, but I want to. I want it so bad. Okay, so 21,000, a big leap in population here. 21,331 people. Rimworld came out and everyone was blown away because everyone wanted kind of like an action-y or real-time sort of dwarf Fortress sort of experience. Dwarf Fortress was really popular, probably is debatably one of the most popular games, but the Rimworld gave it graphics and made it real-time and more action-based, and you know, it's got some give and take there, but people fucking love Rimworld. So there's a bunch of games out here now that are doing the sort of, I would say a subgenre of colony survival, where it's kind of like, it's RTS-ish or it's grand strategy-ish, but it's about surviving, and maybe even factory simulators are kind of bleeding into this as well. So I'm really excited to see all these games come about, but Rimworld, and I guess you could say Dwarf Fortress, but mainly Rimworld was pushing it to the public eye and making that really popular and viral and viable, I think, for survival game creators to be like, oh, it's not just about immersion and first person or cooperative gameplay, it's about let's manage an entire civilization. You know, what if you had to make a civilization survive? And that's not uncommon. There's a bunch of city builders that have exist. I played Banished before, but really taking it up a notch and taking that Dwarf Fortress inspiration to, you know, build this game, I think is what makes all these titles a little bit extra. You know, if it's wave survival elements or, you know, really focusing on those survival mechanics versus the building mechanics. And then also intertwining with like the story-based gameplay as well, like each character having like their own background, their lores or things like that. I don't know, there's a lot that this genre can actually do and expand upon, but I really do appreciate that you want your peoples to live, you want the civilization to succeed, and everything else in the game, all the gamification is trying to kick your ass. So I don't know, do you guys consider this a survival game or not? Let me know in the comments below. A lot of people do. I'm slapping it down. Rimworld. Okay, with a couple thousand more players, we have Unturned, and that makes a lot of sense because this game is free to play. 24,419 players. Get excited, guys, because there's actually a successor to Unturned coming out from the developer that's going to make it more immersive and more simulator. But this is basically, it's kind of Robloxy. In fact, like, I believe this game came from Roblox and then he made it a standalone title. So Unturned is kind of like, it really just slapped all the other free, especially the free to play, but all the early access and indie survival zombie games in the face. It had all the features immediately, even in its early access state, that all the other games said that they couldn't do or they wished they could do if they got $1 billion, like cars and actual lighting and, you know, all the customization of the weapons. Yeah, no, Unturned just did that. Now it's got base building and shit. It's still really goofy. It looks really cheesy. It runs kind of bad in ways, but in the end, it's free. It's also approachable. You know, it's no Conan Exiles, and it's not as hardcore as Don't Starve Together. It's just like approachable for all ages, and it's free, and I really appreciate it for that. And that's why it was the most popular zombie survival game for a very, very, very long time. Now it's beaten out by just a couple, but in the end, I so appreciate Unturned for what it does. You guys know I champion free-to-play games. You guys know I champion games that are social and cooperative, and Unturned is one of those games that's like, I can just ask anybody to play. Hey, you know, you want to play Unturned as like a date? Hey, dude, bro, you want to jump in some Unturned? Let's jam, you know? It's just a fun game just to jump into. And yeah, it's still a survival game. And it's still a game that you can die. You can lose hours of your time, but it's just fun. You know, it's just a for fun survival game in a genre that is known to be sometimes anti-fun and a little toxic, which Unturned still can be. It's just compared to other titles, it is just much easier to get into. This is the survival game that probably should be every single person's first on the planet, especially if you're younger. And now, even more popular, we have something that is like Unturned, but the opposite. It's way more hardcore. It's the most hardcore that I've ever seen. 7 Days to Die is 26,343 players, so 2,000 more than Unturned. This is not free to play, and it is still early access, and it is still very janky, like in terms of graphics. But let me continue. Let me talk about this game immediately. How do I catch your attention? When you're actually roaming houses, when you're doing the dungeons, when you're actually moving through the cities in this game, I promise you it will feel better. It will be more gamified. There is more content, more puzzles to solve. There is more to do in this game in terms of rummaging and looking around and falling into pitfalls and traps with like 5 different demon dogs or whatever. It is a much more serious and sincere experience than any other survival game. Most survival games really focus on that procedural generation, so every house is the same. You know, there's nothing to really worry about. In this game, there's, you know, like floors will break under you. You have to watch out and listen for that. There's zombies that'll be under there. There's zombies that hide behind paintings and stuff or in closets. You have to really listen to the world. You have to actually be careful of what you do. And then you have to worry about, because every so often, every 7 days, there's a wave that comes to destroy your freaking base, that comes to eat your face. So you do have to actually go out and gather, and you have to actually build up your base, have turrets, things like that, and really, really care, because there's mutant zombies that'll climb up your butthole, and it's pretty crazy. So as a co-op game, it is so good. It is my favorite co-op survival game so far in terms of pure cooperation, but the PvP and the general server side stuff, it does get very laggy and it doesn't work. So you want to host your own server, you want to run your own game and play this co-op. It is so good. I promise you. I know it looks weird. Trust me, I was on that boat. I was like, this is just another survival game. I was fucking wrong. Play this game. And next we have debatably the grandfather of the genre, which is dayz, which ended up spurning on, like, oh my god, dude, like, you know, battle royales and so many things. Like, this game was just such a freaking hit. And then it wasn't. And then, like, we had all these other games that everyone wanted to play. We moved on to battle royales, or, you know, we had stuff like Ark Survival Evolved that was way cooler. dayz now is reviral. It's reignited. It's at 33,927. Maybe because some streamers are playing it, people are realizing it's a good game now, and maybe because a lot of these other games do have their own niche, their own focus of it's just co-op, or it's just this, or just that. dayz is still special. It's still dayz. Now, Unturned, still fantastic game. dayz does cost some money, but now it's a more refined experience because it just took a little too long. You know, when you lose the hype, it's so hard to bring it back, but I guess it was possible with dayz. dayz is a true simulator style, third-person shooter, first-person shooter. It's super hardcore. This is going to be for people who enjoy hunting, especially other players, and enjoy the slow grind, the slow kind of late night and chill until shit hits the fan kind of gameplay, because this is definitely for a particular player, but all of those particular players love this game. That's a lot of over 30,000 players are playing dayz, which by all rights should be the most niche of all of these games because it doesn't have one giant big gimmick, but a lot of people still really appreciate it. Even though the zombies aren't like the biggest deal, it's really how players interact with it. But I think, if you're somebody who used to be a fan of The Walking Dead and all those zombie films, dude, oh my god, if you guys haven't seen Train to Busan and stuff like that, you need to watch that. But if you still love zombies, dayz it's a must play. But you keep in mind, it's hardcore and it is so toxic. It's a very toxic game. But maybe jump in, play with a friend or two, go hunt some other groups, and I think you'll have a good time for sure. Next, we have a really big leap up at about 50,000 players right now is Terraria. Okay, so I think it should be obvious why Terraria is popular, and I know what makes the game really cool, but I gotta admit something. Don't crucify me, guys. I have not played Terraria yet. I still have not. I know that this would be such a fun game to play as kind of like with a girlfriend or something, so I'm looking for girlfriend, basically, to play Terraria with, but in saying that, all these games are like that. All these games are really special if you play them with certain types of people, different types of people, or if you play them with certain mentalities. You could say, oh, it's another survival game or whatever. Oh, this is like a Minecraft clone, but every game is different. So Terraria, I know, is debatably not even a survival game, but if you look online, it says survival everywhere. It is about gathering resources. It is about trying not to die and building up your base and then killing bosses. It is very inspired by Minecraft and it is 2D, but it got more focus on big bosses. It's got more focus on some of the minor details that Minecraft doesn't, it kind of glosses over a little bit. So I do want to play this game. I do want to jam into it. I know it's gonna sink so many hours of my life. Guys, don't kill me in the comments. I'll play it. If you want to play with me, fine. Let's make a server or whatever. Let's play. That's what this whole channel is about, right? And that's what these games are all about. So fine. Okay, we'll play it. Let's start a server. We'll play Terraria. But anyways, this is an approachable, cute game that runs on any machine, anywhere, that anybody can play, and it will be a great introduction into survival mechanics without being like a full survival game. So should it be on the list or not? I don't know. Whatever. I got an honorable mention to cover it, so it's still a top 10, but yeah. Anyways, that's a lot of people who like survival stuff. Oh, and I think it goes without saying that Minecraft isn't on this list because Minecraft isn't on Steam, but obviously Minecraft would be the most popular. Okay, here we go. We got a big boy. I remember my cousin, he said, hey, you should check out this game. It looks pretty cool. And I was like, oh, it's got dinosaurs. It's like dayz. Okay, dayz with dinosaurs. Ark Survival Evolved now has 76,628 players playing. What in the heckin'? I played this game and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is cute. I appreciate it. I like fighting big monsters, Tyrannosaurus Rexes and big shits, whatever. Cool, man. But dude, this game became what the hell did this game even become? It is wild. This has been a wild ride. And I did play Atlas, and I think Atlas kind of probably has its place in like the lower echelon of games, but Ark is special. It really is. Even it's janky. Oh my god, it's janky. But you can actually play it on the Game Pass. Though if you play on Windows 10, no, you can only play with other people on Windows 10. Regardless, I have it on Steam and Game Pass. But Ark Survival Evolved, it originally was like, okay, dayz kind of PvEVP, but with dinosaurs. And now it's way, way more than that, but I really appreciated the RPG mechanics, and I think that was really revolutionary, actually, to have these RPG mechanics to be sort of like a tutorialization of like the progression, and then also giving you choices of how you actually build your character, but not just in terms of combat, because there's a lot to do in this game. So I mean, from taming or just building the bases, and obviously a lot of co-op survival games have this, but you're gonna, I don't know, Ark was the game where it really was like, okay, we need a base, there's gonna be big shit that's trying to kill us, okay, you stay home, you build the base, I be gatherer, you ooga booga, you go smash dinosaur faces, and you start to have this real true proper tribe mentality when playing this game. And then especially it's like, okay, we need to scout, boy. We're on a server, people are going to be trying to kill us and take our stuff. We need somebody to be running around with a spear and killing things. I don't know. It was just, I loved the OG kind of classic Ark survival mentality. It has gone a little bit weird, but at the same time, I think I probably should jump into it. So right now, let us know in the comments below, what is the best type of servers to jump into? How should we play Ark Survival Evolved? Because I know there's like different mod packs and like expansions and things like that. I really like the OG experience, but yeah, what's the best way to experience it? What is the most popular way to play it? Because Ark is huge, and like in terms of player counts, in terms of numbers of servers, but also in the numbers of ways that you can actually play and participate in the game. So we do need a little bit of help here from the friends and family. Let us know in the comments below, but you should know this game has not died, despite the fact that it hasn't kept up. Like, it's so popular and it hasn't really kept up with that polish, and they've done some shady stuff with like expansions and things, and especially with the new game Atlas, but in the end, it's still dayz with dinosaurs, and I think people really like that. Also, as a complete aside, have you ever seen like old like dinosaur illustrations? Aren't they fucking scary? Like legit horrifying. Okay, that's it. And our #1 most popular survival game on Steam is Rust at 158,420 players. Again, second to Valheim, but Valheim is like a freak of nature, but Rust is dumb popular. Rust is a game that I have not really touched, and I need to, because everyone's touching this game. Everyone knows about this game. I actually remember a couple times I met some YouTubers. We went to the New World event, because New World is inspired by sandbox survival games. Everyone there was basically a Rust player, and they wanted their game to be similar to Rust in so many ways. And everyone could, all we could talk about was, dude, Rust is so good because it's so toxic. It's such a filthy game. Like, you know, it's like any player level 1 has an opportunity, a chance to break a guild's base, to be crafty, to be sneaky, and it's because the game is self-admittedly toxic and knows what it is that it kind of evens the playing field in a way. If you were to play a bunch of MMOs like Darkfall, Jesus Christ, Mortal Online, or, you know, a bunch of sandbox MMOs, it feels really bad. They call it wolves versus sheep, and I think that's accurate. It's really strong people who kill people who will never be strong just so that it's bad, you know? It's not a good economy. But I really appreciate games like Albion Online, and I would dare say most survival games, because it's more like cat versus mouse, where the mouse is mousy. They're sneaky. They can run away if they need to and come back and be a cat later. And the cats, well, they have hunting tools and they play a certain play style and they're specific, but it's an ecosystem, and in a way it's fair. It's asymmetrical. It's not even. It's not two sides, red versus blue. It's totally different. It's cat versus mouse, and it actually works out. So I think that's what Rust really embodied, and more games are starting to realize that, such as the MMO Albion Online, which I really appreciate. But anyways, Rust is I think it's like, it looks like a really janky, just kind of first-person shooter PvP style game, and I think a lot of people love it. Oh my god, the videos for this are so big, for making the best raid-proof bases and stuff like that, or how to raid bases, and that's a really big aspect for a lot of games. It's about base making. You see that in Valheim. You definitely see it in New World. It's about making bases and being defensive and also cracking bases. That's a cool aspect. So I do want to play Rust for that. If you guys have a server, please invite me. Please invite the friends and family. Let's jump in. Let's play it, because I really need to experience this game for myself, because I don't know if you watch some of my rant videos, but I can be toxic. I do love cat versus mouse. I do love toxicity. I do love hunting other players. I'm not a Care Bear at all. So Rust is definitely up my alley, and it looks like a lot of you guys, because it's the #1 most popular game, especially because of that unique atmosphere. It makes it really fun to stream. It makes it fun to make videos on, and so, you know, everyone sees this game, everyone knows this game, they play it, they jump in, and it's its own unique little cesspool that I think I need to be a little bit deeper into. So yeah, and probably you too as well. Alright guys, but that's it. Those are the top 10 most popular survival games on Steam. I'm using Steam because that's where most of them are. That's most of them launched there. And then also because I can literally see the player count on Steam. But yeah, the honorable mention of Valheim having like 4 times the amount of Rust players, that's insanity. So if you haven't checked out Valheim and you played some of these games and you liked them, holy shit, you need to play Valheim. It's an amazing, I'm even having fun solo, but it's a great co-op monster hunting experience. Oh my goodness. Play with 3 to 5 players. Feels real good, and I'm going to be starting my server here, so please join us. Links in the description for the Discord. Talk with us. Let's have some fun, guys. Let's make some memories. But what are your favorite survival games? What are your favorite hidden gem survival games? Because I think I need to do that list video coming soon, and definitely look forward to more videos like this. Thanks for supporting me via Patreon. Much love. You guys are heroes, and those who, you know, boost the algorithm with your comments. I literally read every comment, liking, subscribing, and just in general keeping the hype alive. Thanks so much. My name's Skylent. and hopefully I'll see you again next time.